Breathe in, breathe out. Is there anything I'm sure about? I've gotta know myself if the world changes. Breathe in, breathe out. There's nothing I can do about anyone or anything but me. Am I too young or old to change? If I don't try, then everything will stay the same. So if I wanted something different for myself, I better make some choices and make them right now. We're gonna be the best random ever. We're gonna be the best random ever. I believe in my team, and I believe in you. So let's drop in and kick some ass like the randos do. Because we're gonna be the best random ever. We're gonna be the best random ever. We're gonna be the best random ever. The best random ever.
Whoa! I always do that! Well, we're going to be the best random ever. Welcome, everyone, to the best random ever. I'm your host, C2, the best random ever. I'm here to talk about how we can all be the best random ever if we just try a little bit, you know? Best Random Ever is a show on the Trident Network, the Trident Network, not worked. We're still working. The Trident Network is a 3-pronged digital entertainment network that features live shows, film, video content on our YouTube, and a variety of podcasts. Please go follow the Trident Network on all of the platforms. We have tons of cool stuff. But right now, we are doing my show, C2 show, called Best Random Ever. Today, I want to talk about discipline. And the reason I want to talk about discipline is because this is something that I've been coming up, not against. See, it's such a divisive term. Not coming up against. It's not really coming up against. It's more like coming into contact with a lot of instances of discipline, and how discipline is helpful, and how it's actually not this like weird thing of punishment, even though the frickin' definition of discipline. So I have 2 definitions of discipline that I want to read. First is when I look up Google, when I ask Google, hey Google, what does discipline mean? And the first thing Google says discipline means is the practice of training people to obey rules or a code of behavior using punishment to correct disobedience. That's fucking sucks. That's the worst thing I've ever heard in my entire life. I was like, there's gotta be, I was looking up, like, because I wanted to have some, like, definitions prepared. Not definitions, but, like, context prepared, because even me writing, I always put, like, a little thing out on the internet, and even me writing discipline on a banner and putting it out, I was like, this sucks. I don't love this. So I was looking for definitions, and that's the first, like, that's like Google's definition of discipline. But I did find a better definition of discipline by this, like, some company. I'll put the link in here. What does discipline mean? Focus 3 is the company, and they look like they're like a corporate solutions to teamwork, which, like, I'm not totally against, but this is the link to the definition, but I want to read it because I agree with it. To understand what discipline really is and what it really means, let's look at the origin of the word to find its intent and true form. The root word of discipline is disciple, which comes from the Latin word discipulus, meaning student. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Sounds pretty right. Most people believe a disciple is a follower, probably because of the religious context, but in reality, it means student, as in one who studies. The word discipline is from the Latin word disciplina, maybe I pronounced that right, meaning instruction and training. It is derived from the root word discere, to learn. So what is discipline? Discipline is to study, learn, train, and apply a system of standards. What isn't discipline? Discipline is not rules, regulations, or punishment. It is not compliance, obedience, or enforcement. It is not rigid, boring, or always doing the same thing. Discipline is not something others do to you. It is something you do for yourself. You can receive instruction or guidance from one or many sources, but the source of discipline is not external. It is internal. Discipline is not obedience to someone else's standards to avoid punishment. It is learning and applying intentional standards to achieve meaningful objectives. Discipline is a choice, your choice. It is a decision. Better yet, all of your decisions. Yo, dropping, oh snap, spin history, I'm saying. Dropping that knowledge on a Google link. So I was like, I was like actually so surprised that that was the definition that Google had. And like the second definition is a branch of knowledge typically one studied in higher education. But like how terrible to look up the word discipline, maybe perhaps to understand it. And the first thing you are told is that discipline is actually a punishment. When in my experience of knowing and having discipline, also, what up, Jared? Knowing and experiencing and having my own discipline for specific things is a very helpful tool. And it's not so shitty. Hey girl, hey. So, and I kept seeing this word display. I was like, what should I talk about? What should we talk about on Best Friend Ever? What would be fun to talk about? And I usually talk about themes. And most of them always relate back to Apex because they're relational themes. So I can probably pretty much relate anything I'm experiencing back to me playing Apex with strangers, honestly, because it's good practice. But the word that kept coming up for me was discipline and how we use it and how I specifically use it. And people will tell me all the time, you're disciplined, you're disciplined. Not that I have like a fanfare of people telling me that or anything, but my closest friends have told me that I am disciplined and they view me as a disciplined individual, which is so funny to me because I don't always feel that way. But there are certain ways and times that I do feel that way. And I understand why to people who know me, I appear pretty disciplined. The being on time thing, that's give or take. Being on time's interesting for me, but to me, discipline is just consistency in effort towards something that you want. Super simple. I view it super simply. And like the simplest thing that might indicate that I'm a disciplined individual is that I make my bed every day. I make my bed every day. I know. You're so impressed. But I make my bed every day because one day, and this is actually super helpful in a couple different ways, but one day I had moved to a new apartment. I like to tell this story about my discipline because this is how easy I view creating systems. Easy in the fact that like it's possible to create a system for anything that you want to accomplish. I moved into a new apartment and I decided I want to be one of those people who has a made bed. I want to be one of those people who makes their bed. And I had heard on the internet and on podcasts and stuff that like the people who can make their bed can do anything. Like there's like, all the successful entrepreneurs and whatever. Like if you can make your bed, if you can figure out how to make your bed every day, you can do anything you want. It was something that I had been hearing. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to figure out how to make my own bed, my bed. I'm going to figure out how to do it. And this was like the first attempt that I'd ever done something where it's like, this is not something that I normally do. I was not a bed maker. I didn't make my fucking bed. It was stupid to make my bed. Why would I make my bed? Like, I'm going to sleep. I sleep in it. It's just a pile of soft things that I fall into every day. Why would I make it? But there was something about like, I'd made my bed, like when you're cleaning your room, you like kind of make your bed. And I'd always liked the way that it looks. And I liked the way other people's rooms looked. And I liked the way that a made bed looks. It looks nice. So the first thing I started doing was I knew, and then I also had read something, and you'll probably have read this, is that like you need to do something for 28 days for it to be a habit. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this month. It was kind of like, I was like, this month, I think it was like November or something. It's very funny. This was probably like 6 years ago. And I was like, okay, how am I gonna make sure this happens every day? Well, first, if I want it to happen every day, it's got to happen in the morning, right? Like, I want to come home to my made bed, and I want to come home and make my bed. So I was like, I'll do it in the morning. Cool, that's easiest. And what I've found too, and this is like a little hack for my brain, I don't know if it would work for your brain, but if I want to get something small done, something that takes less than 30 minutes, I will say, I will tack it into either my morning routine or my nighttime routine. So making my bed is part of just what I do when I wake up. But when I first started, I needed to make sure, and it also was all about tricking my brain. So I had to make sure I would do it. I had to make sure that it was important, but that I couldn't like forget it. So I put it right in the middle of my routine. So I would wake up and I would go take a shower, and then my assignment, and this is how I do habits a lot too, is that I give myself a cue. Usually you need like a cue, like an external cue that you create that will tell you to do something. So like I had it when after you get out of the shower, you make your bed. That's the thing. That's the habit that you're going to create, and that's the habit you're going to follow. So I'd get up, get in the shower, wash my body, be done with the shower, because the shower is so important. I need to make sure I have time to shower. I'm also I'm not a morning person. So get out of the shower, go make my bed, and I kept doing it this way. And there would be times when my little brain would be like, you don't really have to make it. You can just start getting ready. I was like, no, that's the next thing we do. So then that little thing of like, well, let's not do it, is the brain gremlins. I was going to say the little gremlin. The gremlin was like, well, you don't actually have to. And it's like, no, but I want to. I want to do this, though. You don't have to. You could skip it. There is going to be this moment when you're building these systems, and sometimes they win, and sometimes you need to change the way you do your system. This was so easy. Like, making my bed literally takes, like, maybe a minute. Maybe. But it was so easy that I would be like, it's a minute. I'm going to take a minute to do this. And I would be like, no, I want to. And there would be some times when I wouldn't. For sure. Like, there would be some times when I was just so late. I'm so late. But as I kept doing it, like, I'd be so late for work, and I'm like, I'm going to be late. I can't make my bed. But as I kept doing it, it became part of a ritual. And we all know how rituals are important for humans and for our human bodies, and for us to know that things are going well, and it helps us self-regulate and helps us adjust. We all know this. It became just like brushing your teeth, just like, putting on lotion or whatever you do in the morning. It became part of my ritual. So then eventually it felt weird not to make my bed. For a while it was like, I don't have to, I shouldn't, I don't have to. But because I knew that initially I want to be a person who makes their bed, and I knew that was true. And then also it became a habit. It's harder. It is way harder for things that take a long time, that take longer. That's why I say anything that takes more than like 15 minutes, or like less, anything that takes less than half an hour, I can fit it into some other routine that I already do. Anything that's more I still haven't really cracked that, to be quite honest. But there are certain ways that you can do things for yourself. You just have to know. But basically, it's creating a system. So it's creating a system for yourself to be consistent is really all that it is. So ensuring that your consistency can thrive somehow is how I view it. So my consistency is going to be different than your consistency is going to be different than somebody else's consistency is different than, and it depends on how much time you have in a day. It depends on, and sometimes you start doing something and you realize, oh, I don't really actually want to do this. I don't like doing this. I don't like the process. Like, you could start, like, I think a made bed is really nice, and I'm very biased, and I think everybody would like a made bed, because then at night when you're like, ooh, I'm going to unwrap my bed. But I digress. You start doing something, and if you like how you feel and like how it works when you do it, ensuring consistency is really just, that's what discipline is. Figuring out how you specifically can be consistent. And the other thing about that is that nobody can tell you, like, I've gotten tips and hints, and I'm sitting here giving a bunch of tips. Like, this might help. It's good to seek how other people do it and see if it works for you. But most of the time, I just have to, like, go at it and do it myself. And, like, figure out how I do this. How am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? And then I decided I want to be a person whose room is clean. So then I came up with a bunch of systems for that, and that took a really long time. And even now, you would probably look at my room and be like, that's a little cluttered. But we're working on it. I wanted to be a person who didn't have to do the dishes all the time. So I came up with a system of how the dishes should be done and how I take care of the dishes. Like, I decided a big part of it is deciding what you want to do and then just troubleshooting the shit out of how you're going to do it. But ensuring consistency is like the glue that keeps anything going. And it might not work for years. Like, you might want to do something like big deal that would take a long time, like writing something or putting together a project or creating a work of art or something, which takes a really long time and I think is very specific to all of us. And you could read as many articles as you want about how this person wrote their book, but everybody's system is going to be different. Like, I read that. I don't know if anybody read that there was some kind of Am I the Asshole the Reddit Am I the Asshole thing online where a husband was mad because his wife, they had agreed for her to put her writing gig or like her writing hobby to the side while they raise their child, and they both work full time. But she wrote a book with, like, over the span of like a year and a half or something, or a year, on her lunch breaks. She just worked strictly on her lunch breaks. She would write this book, and that's when she would do it, which is like discipline. That's like my definition of discipline would be that, like, dedicating a consistent amount of time to something, no matter how big or small. Like, what was her work break? Like an hour every 5 days. 5 days. 5 days. What's that math? Let's do math. I might do the math wrong. An hour. Say she's got an hour. She sounds like she's got a big girl job. An hour a day for 5 days. That's 5 hours. Plus what? How many weeks are in a year? 52 weeks? 5 times 52. It's like 52 weeks in a year, right? I think it's 52 weeks. 260 hours. That's so manageable. And then after the year, she had the book and she sent it off to the publisher and they bought it for $100,000 because she decided just 1 hour every 5 days. She didn't even work on the weekends. Her husband had no fucking idea she was doing this shit. He got mad at her. And that's why he posted the thing. He was like, I thought she was going to put her dreams on hold for us. Which I thought was funny. She should divorce his ass. But no, that's not my business. But it's not intensity. I think discipline, we've like warped this thought about how discipline is like this like fucked up way that people control us, and that's not what it is. It is a way for us to accomplish what we want. And pivoting into Apex Legends, I feel as though whatever goal you're trying to do, because Apex is kind of like a sport. I told my dentist that I was a streamer this weekend, and he was like, they got a whole esports going with that. Did you know that colleges have esports teams now? And I was like, that's sick. But Apex or whatever you're doing, whatever you want to dedicate time to, and it all counts. Like, discipline is not intensity is an awesome headline. Yes. It's not about intensity, it's about consistency. And you can be inconsistent with your consistency until you figure out how your consistency is going to work. Like, for me, currently, I've been running on and off. I was going to pivot this to Apex, but I'm going to tell this one more part. I've been running on and off for like 3 years, running as an activity for fitness, because I really like running. It's free. I feel good when I do it. But the weather plays a really pivotal role in my ability to run. But I've been able to, because I started running again this year after not running for like a year and a half, because I felt like, oh, well, I can't run. I can't like have running be the thing that I do. No, I can run whenever I want. It's free. It's free. I can run whenever I want. If I want to go run out in the cold, I can. But also, it's not the worst thing in the world to like take a break in the winter from running and then pick running back up. And yeah, I'll lose some endurance. I might lose some, but like instead of looking at it from a way of like I lost endurance, but it's like I tried running again and I got my endurance back much quicker than the first time I had tried to run. Took up running. It took me a really long time to build up endurance. It took me a really long time to build up rhythm. It took me a really, really long time. This time that I picked it up again, it was much quicker and it was much easier. So even though I was still going backwards and doing it again, I was still able to be consistent with it because I knew everything that was going to, like, I knew how the endurance part worked. Like, and now that I knew, oh, you're going to lose endurance, but then you can gain it back. It's just about you doing it consistently. Then I was running again, and I ran all summer until it got cold. And I was like, all right, I don't want to go. And then I was like, I don't want to go running when it's cold, and I want to run when it's cold. So now I'm like, okay, I'll be a springtime, summertime runner. And in the meantime, I'll figure out something else to do, and then I can table that. But I can still run. And it's still a thing that I can do. But like, it's not consistent in the way that other things are, but it's consistent enough where I can still do it, and it's great. It's separating the emotion from doing a thing. Yes. It's not about, you explain things so well, C2. Brian, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for being here. And also everyone. But I saw Brian's name and I was like, Brian, I was thinking about you. You said something the other day and I was thinking about you, and now I can't remember what it was. I'll figure it out. But how this pivots to Apex. So how this pivots to Apex is when I do an activity, I usually want to get better at a certain thing about it, or I want to get better. Like when I started playing Apex, I was so fucking bad. God, I was so bad, you guys. And so bad. Don't know why I still play it. It's a great game. My favorite game in the world. But when I started playing Apex, I knew that I had to get better at certain things. So the first thing that I did was I looked up just a bunch of videos on like basic tips, and I'd only been playing FPS games for like a year or so when I picked up Apex. I didn't really play a lot of FPS games. I might have played Black Ops 2 Deathmatch in like 2013 for a little bit on PS3. Like, it was not a big deal. I was not good at FPS games. But I knew that to be better, I had to practice certain things because that's what you do. But the cool thing about games, though, getting better at games, is that they're fun to play. So the whole thing about forcing myself to play Apex was like not a big deal. I was like, oh, I gotta get on Apex and practice? Fuck yeah, let's go do it. So that was easy. Being on Apex was easy. So that part was taken care of. Getting myself to be on Apex, I was already on Apex all the time. This is great. But then focusing on each individual thing was the task for me personally. And this is more in the vein of like how to be the best random ever, but how to be a better player and focus on your own gameplay so that you can be more of an asset to your team, because that is also part of being a good teammate, is being an asset to your team. Not saying that like people who are bad at Apex shouldn't play. That's not saying that, but like putting in an effort is helpful. Even if you're bad and you're putting in an effort, that's better than, being bad and hating your life, I guess, playing Apex and be like, I hate this. But it's just practice. It's consistency. And it's really frustrating. I'll say this too, growing up and like learning things. It's really frustrating to learn that everything that adults have ever said is correct. And I hate it. But not always in the way that they mean it either. Because sometimes like when people say like, that kid needs discipline, like they're just a fucking asshole. And that kid just might need discipline, but also not punishment. I don't believe in punishment really as a helpful tool in general. We're a little bit too punitive in our society currently, I believe. But that's me. That's what I believe. You can believe whatever you want. But discipline is for you by you. that's the way that I have accomplished anything that I have accomplished in terms of like personal growth, is something that I set up for myself that I know that I want. And sometimes I set something up and I figure out that I don't want it. And sometimes you're going to start playing a game, even if you're like playing Apex or something, and you're going to realize like, oh, I don't want this. Like, I don't want to play Apex. It's not fun. And I've done that too. Like, I've started playing games and I've realized, oh, I don't like this game. I've been playing this game so much and I don't really like this anymore. Or you're playing a game, you're trying to get better, and then you realize that the game's not fun anymore. So you stop playing. And another big thing about discipline that I try to think about too is the sunk cost fallacy, which is basically the fallacy that you put a bunch of time into something so you should see it through. I think that's case by case basis, but most of the time you can stop something if you really feel like your time is not being utilized well at all anymore. Or because sometimes a certain activity will actually be necessary to bring you to a different thing. So there's maybe you play Apex a lot, or you played Apex a lot, or you played a different game a lot, and then that introduced you to friends who played that game, and then everybody moved to a different game that everybody likes better, and you don't play Apex anymore. Maybe you spent a long time playing Apex, but then you found this other game that you like way more, and it's easy, and it's like easier for you, and you like it better. Like that is like, to me, that's no sunk cost. That's you doing the things that you like. So that can be applied to anything. Moving to thing. Everything that you do can't be wasted. All the skills you use doing anything can't be wasted ever. They're always going to apply to everything that you do. You're like a collecting skills no matter what you do. So you don't have to worry about quitting something if you have something else that you're now interested in that is feeding you more. And you can always pick things back up again. You can always pick a game back up again. Sounds like the movie Rudy. The character puts a lot of time and effort into playing football in hopes of playing at Notre Dame. Time doesn't necessarily equate to results. Exactly. Because what we want to focus on too, especially with discipline, because they say like, oh, it takes 28 days to form a habit, or it takes such and such time to form a habit. But actually, it takes forever. It's, if you do something that's a habit, you're not putting a timestamp on it. You're not putting a destination on it, because life is about the journey and not the destination. And that's so cliche and also terribly true. When you're looking towards what you want only and not working on like what's happening and how there's a lot of good, rich stuff happening right now that is not in the future. And if you like stay with like, stick into each day, I repeat the thing. I do the thing that I know that I want to do. This is what I want to be doing. I'm doing it maybe even just for 30 minutes, maybe even just for 15 minutes. I do the thing and I do my best. And then I move on with whatever else I have to do. You build, that counts. No matter how little or small that time towards that thing you want, it still counts. Even if you stop doing it and come back to it, it all counts forever until the end of time. I feel like that with Apex often. Apex makes me stressed and mad, but I put so much money and time to Apex, I struggle to leave it. Yeah, I mean, and you can also like, and I always do say this, like, you can also just put a game down for a minute and come back. Like, I took a week off Apex because I went traveling, and I came back and it was super fun. Not that I wasn't having fun, but it was like, sometimes it's also nice to miss things, things, people, situations. Sometimes you just take a little break, come back, you feel refreshed. Not saying you always want to like just straight up ignore people or anything. Sometimes taking a break is nice. And it refreshes your brain, and then you can get back to it, and you won't lose anything for taking a break, refreshing your brain, doing something different. But yeah, so what we're really talking about with discipline is consistency. And consistency that you can manage, because everybody's degree of consistency is going to be different. Everybody's priorities are going to be different. And that's okay. And like, if you can find enjoyment in what you're doing at all, then that's the point of being alive, is to experience life and joy. So you did it. Yes, any little bit helps, and it's truly just a day-by-day thing. Putting a timeline on it doesn't help everybody and could lead to disappointment. Yes, exactly. Like, I have like a bullet journal that I use, that I plan my day out, but it's not like a plan like you have to do this. It's like, what do I have scheduled? So like work and streaming, things that are like scheduled. I put that on there so that I know. And then I put like ideas of what I'm trying to accomplish. So I don't put like, you got to make this today. And like for some people that's helpful. For some people, they like to have a list, and it can look like a list, but it's all ideas. It's all suggestions for me. And it's a physical place where I can go to look at stuff. So that's like a tool. So tools and consistency, tools and habits that help with consistency that's all discipline is. It's not a punishment. We don't need to look at it that way, because fuck other people and what they want us to do, quite honestly. So I think that might be my initial spiel. We can get an Apex. I was trying to think of what I was working on, because I feel like I had stuff to work on in Apex proper, and now I can't think of what it is. Well, let's get into it. We'll get into it. Great intro. Hey, thanks, Chuck. Yeah, I kept on thinking of the word discipline, and I was like, nobody's gonna fucking like that. Nobody's gonna like that, dude. Like, my, like, brain, like I was like, I've been thinking about discipline a lot lately. But then my brain was like, fuck that, though. Fuck that, though. What? Discipline? That sucks. And even the internet's like, discipline sucks. But that one definition, I'll post it again. I'm going to post this link again for you all, because I really, really love their definition of discipline. Focus. There's like a corporate company, but their definition of discipline was lit. It's lit. And I love it. And I love that discipline is specific to you. And I love the idea that it's just a system that you're creating. It's not something somebody else gives you. In some climates, I guess it can be considered a system that somebody else gives you, because, we have work and stuff. Organizations, community, things. Sometimes there's systems that other people put in place that you want to follow, or that they want you to follow. You don't want to follow them. But that's a whole different subject that I actually have yet to be able to acquiesce to anybody else's way of discipline. So we'll see if that ever works out for me. Stay tuned. So let's do something that is helpful that games do for discipline, actually, is they give you stuff to work on. They give you battle passes, which I love. I love doing different stuff. So something that keeps the game fresh for me and keeps it fun for me is actually doing challenges from the battle pass. Even if I'm like, ew, I don't want to do that, except for arenas, which I just need more people to play with arenas. I'll get those done. Well, I'll have an arenas time where I get in with the crew and we full stack arenas. But it is nice to give yourself stuff to do, and that's also like something I do too on my own. Dr. Yesterday, what up, Dr. Yesterday? Is I give myself things that I want to think about and focus on, like a list in my journal, but it's not prescriptive, because I also don't respond well to being bossed around and like told what to do. I don't like that. But if it's me being like, hey, you have some goals that you want to complete and feel good about, why don't you think about them? I don't know, a little bit. So like half the challenges are all arenas. Yeah. Well, I re-roll my dailies for arenas all the time, because I don't need that in my life. But I would love to play some arenas with friends to get those challenges done, because I think that would be fun. So I'm keeping all these things in mind. The easiest thing to do with the battle pass, I am an arena friend. You are arena friend. You are arena friend. It's true. The easiest thing to do in the battle pass for me is usually, we'll play Pappy. Is usually starting with legend stuff. So battle pass, if you're looking for to ease into some discipline, BRB, you got it, Chuck. In Apex specifically, the battle pass has done that for me, and you can actually follow the battle pass without buying it. The battle pass will still populate in your menu. You won't get the rewards if you don't buy it, but it will still populate and you'll still get the points. And if at any time you want to buy the battle pass while it's still active, you can then get all the rewards for it, having completed it. If fun fact for anyone who didn't know, one season I forgot to buy it and I was completing everything and I wasn't getting any rewards, and I was like, why is this happening? I hadn't bought the battle pass. So you can, but then I bought it and then I got everything. So you can buy it at any time that it's active. But if you just want to use it as a way to complete challenges, you can do it too. Sometimes I'll even follow the battle pass after the fact. I think the only pro of buying it ASAP is the XP boost. Oh, yes. Yeah. Meaning it's faster to climb it, yeah. And I buy the cheap one because the more expensive one just gives you more levels. Excellent. And for me, that's not as fun. Because I want to earn all my points. I buy the cheapest one because I like grinding it, kind of. But this is a good way to like get you to focus on certain things. Since 2681. Which I like. I usually start with a legend, with whatever legend it tells me to play, and then I'll go from there. But then this is helpful to keep in mind, and then because of this, you can do things like this on your own to like be like, okay, I'm gonna practice with snipers. I'm gonna pick up snipers. I'm gonna practice with snipers. So Apex actually has a little built-in discipline list. Did you not spin the wheel today? Oh, well, I didn't spin the wheel
right there.
because I'm gonna go off the battle pass for this one, because we're talking about this one. So a little bit of an opposite today, but thank you for reminding me, Brian. So actually, discipline is a little bit different than randomness, I find. But you can still... Oh, it's not pinging that I need a weapon. I'm doing great, guys. Really just killing it. Absolutely crushing it.
Attention. First blood.
First blood on the enemy.
Round 1. Beginning ring countdown.
Not all of us are in the ring.
Oh, my tracking.
Opening fire.
My tracking was... Oh, man. I need to do a compilation of me being so bad at the charge rifle.
Grenade, heads up. Every scout
Somehow.
has a story, mate. Enemy here.
Maybe I should... I was trying to practice the charge rifle on my stream.
Recharge my shield.
It's just a wee scratch, dear.
It did not go well. Okay, I'm ready!
Healing up. She'll be right. Look in here.
Light ammo, please.
Giving my shields a recharge. Light ammo here.
No, she took it!
Jeez.
Oh! There's a Loba who took it!
I need help. Making contact with enemy. Boy, enemy knuckle cluster.
I don't know what's happening.
Knuckle sandwich. Enemy here.
Hello, how disciplined are we today? We are so disciplined. We are following the battle pass currently. Oh my god, who is sniping us? This is rude.
Reloading. Down.
Well, I'm terrible.
Got it. Ah, down. Let's go here. Joker right here. Hostile right here. Go here, fellas.
Reloading. Another
Ah! Ah! Why are you missing me?
A faint heart never won a lady.
She really wanted... I hope she enjoys my box. Filled with garbage. Doomed from the start. I got an amazing new couch this morning. It's so cozy. Please don't tell me you can't get it in your... But I deleted it with file. Oh. I thought you were going to say, I got an amazing new couch this morning. It's so cozy, but we can't fit it into the house. I thought that's what you were going to say. And I was going to be like, no. One of my best friends, I guess two of my best friends, bought a couch, and it's an amazing couch. It's called Couch City, we call it. And it's like huge sectional, huge, beautiful couch. They could not get it into their apartment when it came. Oh, if we don't count it, you can still count it. You could go floof in my channel if you want, real quick, just to keep the count accurate. Oh. So yeah, we're following the battle pass today. That's kind of like a built-in habit tracker. You know, that would be dedication to the floof, true dedication to the floof. Truly. But yes. See, I'm playing Pathy because my two daily challenges today are to play Pathy.
You and me, friend.
I didn't look to see if any had gun challenges.
The place between life
Should we
and
try and get
death
better with
is
a
where I
charge rifle? I don't want to do that to you. Even before you floof, your hair is still bigger than my future. Nah, your future's bright, right? As bright as my hair, my friend.
This is your
The world is your oyster. Or clam, or whatever, you know, whatever you're into. I have the Catechus Flinch Raid song stuck in my head. Okay. Z Gamer.
Let's land here.
Well, yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Enough lambing around. We're dropping.
I'm flying.
Run and check out over there.
Let's freaking go! You know what I love?
I've got some heat.
Getting messy with my team. Let's go. Oh, shit. Double prowlers? Here, girl. Here, girl. Wait, take that.
Light ammo here. Making contact with
That
enemy.
was a lot. That was pretty messy. Here's the cool thing about
Did you
grinding
see
the
how
battle
great I was?
pass,
I did
though.
all kinds of really amazing moves.
It also
Are you listening?
takes the pressure off of me, like, trying to win. Not that I'm not always trying to win, because I am, like, kind of always trying to win. I would love to win all the time. But it gives me a bunch of other stuff to, like, focus on, like, specific things to focus on and achieve and get better at that is not just, like, winning or, like, getting a bunch of kills. Which is fine. But I imagine this game would be super boring if all you ever did was drop in and try and get a bunch of kills. Is that... There's so much other stuff you can do besides drop in and get a bunch of kills. I also don't usually get that many kills, so, you know. It's never really my... Okay, I need to get submachine gun deal. I need to do submachine gun stuff, which I was doing. Pat on my back. I need to live 200 opponents. Oh, that's gonna happen today. Sometimes they give challenges. It's like... Sometimes they give challenges, and it's like, do you never go anywhere? Come play Apex. We'll give you a challenge. A daily challenge, outlive 200 opponents. How many is that? 60. So if you would have to... You'd have to survive. God. That's at least 2 hours, right? That's at least 2 hours of gameplay, I imagine. Alright. I think my next one was still a Pathy. Wait, let me look at my... So Pathfinder. Ooh, or I could play... Oh, there's a lot of them. Let's do the matches one. Bloodhound, Mirage, or Horizon. Play Horizon. So we did our dailies for Horizon. Now we have to keep in mind submachine guns, knockdowns. I feel like I already keep knockdowns in mind. Also, doing the battle pass gave me really good ideas for working on certain weapons, like getting better with certain weapons. Because the battle pass would do those prompts, so then I started doing those prompts for myself. But then also, and I think I've said this before, if there's something that you really think you should be focusing on, you can take that opportunity to like practice in real life. The way that we get better at stuff is by practicing in real life. So if you want to be like a better teammate, etc., you have to practice with other teammates. Because there's a lot to be said for theory, for sure, and talking about it, and, but then executing it is another, is like arguably very important. You're saying I can't just ponder my way to success? Can't ponder that orb, baby. You gotta live it. You gotta live the orb.
In time for dinner. Got pork chops tonight. Love pork chops.
I'll have to think about that. Yeah, you do. You do.
This isn't between you and me. It's between you and a promise I need to keep. Jump Master.
I can't
Not
just
my first
ponder?
launch, though I usually launch in the
I'll
other
have to think about
direction.
that. You think about it. You think about it.
I look forward to meeting.
We're going here.
Reckon we should head here.
The guy who said I think therefore I am was freaking idiot. I think therefore I am. Jury's still out. Sometimes I do not pick up. Actually, I do want that.
Ooh, someone got the party started.
Oh, girl.
Peacekeeper here.
Oh, I do want the sniper. Oh, I gotta do submachine guns. Did he take the car? Excuse me, sir. Did you take the car? Did you take it? No, we didn't. Ha! Let's freaking go. That's right.
Flatline here.
Alright, we're getting our submachine on.
Reckon we should go here.
So, one of my teammates, we're all carrying like the same shit. Okay, it's fine.
Wingman here. Sniper stock here. Level 3.
I do want that. Oh, I dropped a
Yes,
sniper scope.
please.
New kill leader out there. What a go-getter.
So I got my submachine gun. I do need to do red weapons
Heavy ammo here.
as well. But we won't. We won't focus too
Got a
much
cargo
on
bot.
that now, because unless there's a care package, but that's what we want to remember. We want to loot some neutral care packages so I can get some. I can get a red weapon.
Optics here. Close range. Bam, there goes a boozle. Or something like that. I didn't.
Standard stock right here. Level 1. Ring's closing in
I do not
45
like
and we're
this
right next
site.
door. You're dead
Extended
brilliant,
sniper
that
mag
is.
here. Level 3.
I think I can go get.
Car SMG here. 30 seconds. Ring
also worth it to mention when you first start trying to do different stuff, like stuff that you've never done before, because they say you got to do something different to get different results, which is how it works. You might not know how to do it, you may be bad at it,
Evo shield here. Level 2. Light ammo here.
but that doesn't mean you shouldn't keep attempting different ways to do stuff, or different ways to
On
approach
you,
stuff.
mate.
Because there's a difference between like
Quick
something
ring update for ya.
completely
We ain't in it.
not being for you and like blocking
Barrel
you,
stabilizer here. Level 3. On you, mate.
like not being able to do something, versus just being kind of bad at it at first. It's okay to like be bad at stuff and like have it not really land, not really hit. And something also that helps with that is not bullying yourself or other people for like being bad at stuff. Because
Got us
the
a
first
care
step
package
to
coming
being
in.
good at something is sucking at it. I think that's from Adventure Time.
Extended heavy mag here. Level 2.
Hands off, that's a prezi for Fusey.
So if you do really want to, like this is what I tell people would like used to ask me. I used to pick up the wingman a lot. I still do,
Not
but
taking a break, just watching this spot.
I love using the wingman, and it's kind of a hard gun to use. And people be like, C2, how do you use it? How do you do that? And the answer is you pick it up and you use it, even if you're bad at it. Because if you only have the wingman to use, why are we going this way? I don't agree with this. If you only have the wingman to use, you better hit your shots, you know? Like, if you've only got, and that's not to say, you know, some days I hit my wingman shots and some days I don't. You guys know. You guys know how it is.
Backpack here. Level
Y'all
2.
y'all
Now we're
know.
down to 50. Thank you.
You know what? Oh, I
No
didn't
worries,
take my
mate.
thing. Get it!
I need shields.
I get mad when they take my stuff. Can we leave? What are we doing here? Come on.
Shield battery here.
Ooh, thank you.
Thanks. Alright, mate. Don't have a cry over it.
I'm gonna ignore that.
Shield battery here. Barrel stabilizer here. Level 2.
Fancy a wee
That was
stroll
the
this
shield
way?
that I requested. What a move. What a move. Very Mirage move, I'll say. Actually, I'm going to drop this guy and pick up this guy.
What do you say we
This guy,
move
pick
here?
up this guy. We should leave is what we should do. It's time. And it is unfortunate. They say the best way to learn how to do something, or the best way to learn, is unfortunate. The best way to do something is to do it. The best way to get something done is to do it. Isn't that a pain in the ass? I think that's a pain in the ass. But, you know, the more you do stuff, the more you get used to doing stuff, actually. Which is also pretty dope. And it can take as long as you need it to take. Oh, they fight? What's that? Oh, that's lava. It looked like a Gibby bubble for a second. You wanna
Check
fight
over
them?
We'll Joker there.
That's a sign. Why are they fighting?
New kill leader
Aw,
appointed.
yeah.
Got us a new kill
Round
leader.
2.
Wouldn't mind
Beginning
saying
ring
title.
countdown.
That's what the people who always land hot say. The more you do, the better you'll be in fights. Yeah, and that's the other thing is like
Delivering replicator.
you can do it, and you don't
incoming.
have to do it constantly.
Reckon we
only.
should go
like because
here.
eventually, like, and for me too, like sometimes I'll be landing hot,
Another soft landing.
and you do get better landing hot when you land hot because you learn how to land hot. That's how you learn how to do it.
Heard that. Joker here. Making contact here. Faking him out with a decoy. It's Duke's clock.
Lucky us, we're with the new kill leader.
That was a sick. That was a sick
1 sec, healing up.
ult that I just did. That was, damn. I rarely use her ult that effectively, to be honest with you.
Numpty, right here. The ring's our neighbour, pals, and we've got about a minute to find her.
Getting shot at. Decoy escaped the board. Barrage here. Stay. Throwing our star.
The fuck is happening? Woo! Woo! Well, that was short-lived.
Launching me knuckle clap.
Oh, where are these people coming from? Oh. Leave me alone.
10 seconds.
I'm just a boy.
Basically knock out. Heard that. Throwing thermite grenade.
Stayed there too long.
Listen up, fellas. The ring's moving and we're on the... Serving him a knuckle sandwich.
So that goes for like
I got a bad guy. Right here. Contact here. Got a bad.
legends
Making
too.
contact.
If you like,
Right here, right in front of me.
if you want to get good at a legend, you gotta play the legend a lot. But also, if you want to get good at playing different legends, and that's something that you want, which is a goal that I had, I played all different legends. And I made sure when I was getting really addicted to a kit, I made sure that I was switching out, so that I could play different legends and feel
On your
comfortable
feet,
playing
mate.
different legends. And now it's a habit. I don't usually get too into one legend at any time. Nice. Oh, you can get me? Don't shoot it. Oh, you're so kind. Oh. I don't love this. Oh no.
Next ring's far. You lot aren't getting tired, are ya?
Sir.
New kill leader
Is this
out
the
there.
first ring?
What a go-getter.
This is not the first ring. Is this the first ring? No, it's the second ring. It doesn't look like he's taking
Here
that much
comes the
damage.
replicator.
Is this really only the second ring? Did they win? They're kind of far though, y'all. Y'all better go on get. And you know what's something I should do more of that I don't? Hang out in the first two rings. I get real scared of the ring. I don't like fighting in the ring. I don't like being like just outside the ring. I don't like any of that shit. But the pros will like hang out in the rings. They don't give a shit. They don't care. This ring, first ring, second ring, nah. Third ring, you don't hang out
Death
in
box
it.
here.
But the most intense players that I've ever seen don't even give a shit. They don't care. They don't care! And that's something that I do need to practice. Not being scared of the ring. But there's also, I think, a subtle, like, awareness. You know where the ring is, and you're not, like, going out into the ring, or you're not going into the storm, so you know where you are. You're not, like, moving through the storm irresponsibly, but you're also using the storm. Get him! Get him!
Look this way.
This person's name is God.
Warning.
Chat.
Movement in progress.
Do you guys have anything that you're trying to practice?
Quick ring update for you. We ain't in it.
Check it out. Care package.
Anything
coming
you're
in.
trying to get better at in Apex or in life? Oh, people are here. Fight them! Fight them!
Hostile right here, right in front of me. Target's right in front of me. Hostile right here, right in front of me.
I'm back, darlings. Guess it was only a flesh wound.
Using the decoy escape.
Really grateful that they got me. I do not feel prepared. Oh, we're prepared now, baby.
Juicing me shields.
Just a touch. Healing up.
Opening fire.
2 enemy squads left. Let's teach them some manners.
Oh, thank you. Hey, watch my... Thanks.
Shots fired and they're hitting me. Close door here. I need shields. Get out there and bamboozle.
I got one.
Recharging shields.
Cheers very much. Juicing me
Oh,
shields.
you're quite welcome, dear.
Go here, fella. Optics here. Close range. Enemy right here. Throw my grenade out.
You gotta
1 minute
go
until
though.
close. Rings nearby.
Need a better.
Enemy there.
G'day, enemy here.
Need a better shield.
Bam to the woozle. Sending out a decoy.
Oh, let's go.
How about this way? Just gotta patch myself up.
I didn't take any shields. I'm the worst! Come on, dude! It's too
Pay
late!
attention, gang. Not far from the ring. We got 30 seconds left.
Spam bots are shooting at me. Just the one squad left, pals.
I can't believe I didn't take any shields. I cannot
10
believe. I
seconds
can't
and the
believe
ring's
you!
close.
I can't believe it!
Not to be pernickety dears, but the ring's on the move, and we're not inside her yet.
Enemy over there. Launching me knuckle cluster. Launching me knuckle cluster.
This bitch didn't take any shields. Can you
Coming.
believe her?
About to
The
fall.
audacity! She didn't take any shields! Okay!
Struth, enemy here.
Shields recharging.
Bloody Joker over there. Joker's shooting at me. Firing. Recharging shields. And bam goes the boozle. Ah. Oh boy. Healing up. She'll be right. I need shields.
We all need shields. This sucks.
Spotted one. Never mind, forget that. Spotted one. Shot fired, and they're hitting me. Give him my shield to recharge.
Unleashing my singularity. Shields recharging.
Shot fired, and they're hitting me.
Grenade out. Frag grenade.
Deploying me now.
I have shields. What's up?
Silly rejuvenation.
Opening fire. Shooting a frag. Firing a frag. Frag going long. Deploying me knuckle cluster.
He's pushing.
Joker's shooting. Enemy here. So Joker here. Go miserable once the balance is back.
We'll never know. We'll never know.
You can.
Yeah, getting shot at. 10 seconds. The ring's basically knocking on the door.
Tossing a thermite.
Got one here. Okay. Gonna check out this area. Making contact here. There's one, right? Got one here.
The ring's closing, and we ain't in it. champion. Ach, they were a right numpty.
There's a bad guy. There's one right here. Making contact. Got a bad guy. Enemy being revived over here. Oh, making contact.
Why would you push outside of the ring? What did I say? You use it as a tool.
You are the Apex champions.
Yes. Yes. What did I say? Use the ring as a tool. Good job, team. You did great. Damn. What a good time. What did Grut? I saw it. I saw that ring coming. I saw that ring coming. Cool. Can I get more knockdowns? I'm gonna try one more. I'm gonna try and get my knockdowns. I'm gonna try and get 6 knocks. 6 knocks in this one. This one alone. Can I do it? I guess we gotta land hot. We gotta drop hot to complete it. But I think we can do it.
Whoever said the sky's the limit never left the ground.
Let's get the job done.
When you're a
Okay,
master of black
we're going for
holes,
knocks.
relativity becomes, well, relative.
Horizon, check. Knox, let's get him.
This is your champion.
Oh,
Violence for science. Oh, quite the jump master. As above, so below.
3 down and locked. Let's land over there.
okay. I did say we were gonna land hot.
The rhythm slows, my friend.
Wait.
Rest. The dance is over.
Man, this is gonna be messy. All right, here we go.
Hold on to your knickers, darlings.
It's gonna be messy, team.
Reckon we should head here.
Cool, they landed together. Nice. That's what I like. That's what I like. Everyone's safe. Is everyone safe?
Attention. First blood.
The battle happens quick. Ready.
Mozambique here. Hemlock here. Extended light mag here. Level 2.
Extended light mag here. Level 2.
There are some people around here. Ooh. Who did that?
Charging over shields.
Another squad's popping their
I don't know
heads
who
in.
that is. That's from the
Recharging
construction
my shields.
building.
Look out, grenade.
Heavy ammo here.
Yes, one.
can't hit from here.
Recharging shields.
Recharging.
I hate when the construction people raise hell.
Taking fire.
Makes me mad.
Recharging my shield.
Ah!
Hey, who invited the third party? Charging on my shield. Taking fire.
Shit, what
Opening fire. Reloading. Good night. That entire squad's gone bye-bye.
She got him. Nice. Nice.
Down to 30 seconds. Rings just a little further.
Dropship arriving.
One sec. Using my Phoenix kit.
Seconds, dears. The ring's close and we're cutting it. Well, close. Heavy ammo. Extended light mag here. Level 3.
I don't need that.
R301 here. Light. Extended light mag here. Level 3.
Optic. Sniper.
At
Being shot at. Recharging my shield.
there's stuff happening all over the place.
Oh my, an enemy.
New kill leader, but they haven't won yet.
Recharging my shield.
Please, girl, you have a white shield. Be careful.
Grenade deployed. Another squad popping the heads in.
Charging on my shield.
Contact. Contact close.
Hey, who invited the third party?
Making contact with enemy.
Oh, we traded.
Me and you are down.
I didn't get any knocks. You're gonna discipline these kids with this longbow, I'm saying.
Reloading. Opening fire.
Over here too. And yikes, we didn't even get to hit anybody. I didn't even get to hit anybody.
Champion has been eliminated.
Oh, you gonna learn.
Amigos, let's go here.
You gonna learn. I got one knock. One knock. Please. Please, sir. Can I have a knock? A knock? Nobody's ever asked for a knock. But yes. 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 So. In conclusion, I think I feel complete. So, discipline's a little bit more a little bit more boring to work on. It doesn't have to be boring. But Apex kind of has like a built-in like a discipline fucking list. Like discipline starts with the thing you want to accomplish, and a discipline is just the system that you employ to get to that thing. And it can change. It's flexible. It's not about doing it. There's no right way to do something or to accomplish something. But you do have to do something to get something. You do have to start something to get a result for something. You can want something super bad, and that's great, and dream about something too, and that's great. And that's the first step, is like learning how to like dream and want for things. But the next step is executing what you want, and I don't want to say it's the longest way. The easiest way to get something to maybe not appear, but the easiest way to get to where you want to go is to start going there, however little way you can do it. Consistency. Discipline's just consistency. It's not a punishment. And then I think that's the other thing too, is super important, that I think about all the time, is that like, if I really want to do something, doing it is not a punishment. And then also being in right relationship with myself, where I'm not setting up goals that feel like a punishment. So like, if you want to work out, but you're coming at it from a place of like, I hate myself, I hate the way that I look or whatever, it's a lot harder to get yourself to do something, because then it feels like a punishment, like you're doing something wrong. Or if like you play Apex and you're like, all my friends are mean to me and make fun of me and I want to be better at Apex, you give yourself shit for not being good at it. It's a harder perspective to come at something rather than, you should get new friends if they're that mean to you, but other than when you come at it from a place of, I want to do this. This is something that I like and I want to do it better or more, or I want to do it, period. Setting up a system for yourself, however you can do it, is beneficial. And it's not punishment. And it's only for you. That's how I look at it. It's only for me. Everyone else be damned. I will be good at Apex. But part of being, you're gonna discipline these kids long ago. Part of being a good teammate is I do think part of being a good teammate is having your shit together a little bit. And that's my episode on discipline. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed this episode 9. Discipline, here on the Trident Network. The Trident Network. That is a 3-pronged digital entertainment network that features live shows, film, video content on our YouTube, and a variety of podcasts. Please follow the Trident Network on all of the socials. Please follow us. We have a lot of good shit happening all the time. But today was my show, Best Random Ever, with me, your host, C2. I do have my own channel. I'm sure all of you follow me already on my own channel, but I do have my own channel. Next stream is going to be tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. We're playing Apex. I think I'm going to rank. I think I'm going to get some ranking in there. So come on down, see me. I'm almost out of bronze lobbies, getting into silver. I love silver lobbies, so that's going to be a lot of fun. And then hopefully maybe tomorrow we'll be able to get to gold. Who knows? But that's on the docket for me. I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you have a great rest of your Tuesday. We have Best Random Ever is every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Central, where I talk about stuff that helps me be a good random. So I hope any of this helped you be a good random. Let's all be the best random we want to see in the world, you know? But thank you all so much for hanging out with me. Be kind to yourselves. Be kind to each other. Take care of yourselves. Oh my God! I just... No! Yeti Raid! Oh my God! No! I was just ending it. Yeti. More talk, Poggies. More talk. Were you just ending? I was just ending. Oh. Yeti, you beautiful, beautiful lady. Oh my God, dude. That's hilarious. I was just talking about discipline. We're talking about discipline, having your own disciplines. Let's raid someone else together. I can't raid from this channel. I can't raid from this channel. It's okay. Oh my god, you guys. Welcome in. Let's do a little we'll do a little hello. No, you're fine, Yeti. You're the best. Spicy Goat Cheese, thank you so much for the follow. Y'all, here, I'll tell you a little bit about this. This is the Trident Network. I'll say it again. The Trident Network is a 3-pronged digital entertainment network that features live shows, film and video content on our YouTube, and a variety of podcasts. We have a bunch of stuff going all the time. Please go follow Trident on all of the socials. 3 prongs. 3 prongs. That's 2. That's 4. This is 3. This is 6. That's 3. My name's C2. I'm the host of Best Random Ever, a show where we talk about how to be the best random ever to get the best randoms ever. I was wondering why I had 0 channel points. Like, I've been here before. This is my other show. But welcome in, everybody. I do this show every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Central Time for about an hour-ish, hour and a half-ish. Every Tuesday, unless I'm doing something else, which last week I was doing something else. But I was here this week talking about discipline, talking about being a good teammate, setting up systems for success and habit building, and how discipline is not a punishment. But this episode will be available on Trident's videos coming up after this. They record all the videos, so that'll be available. I'm so sorry, Yeti. Don't feel like you wasted your lurk or your raid. I appreciate you so endlessly, and I do have this show every Tuesday, and I hope if you guys like talking about habits and being your best self and being the best random ever, if that sounds like something you would want to catch, I am here every Tuesday here at the Trident Network. Twitch.tv/Trident Network. And I also have my own channel where I stream regularly stuff. Tomorrow, Wednesday, 11 a.m., that's when we're going to be streaming on my channel. So you can catch me there as well. But I am wrapping the show up on discipline. And I love you so deeply, Yeti and Hannah and everyone who came through. You guys are awesome. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Be kind to yourselves. Be kind to each other. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Love yourselves and love each other. And I will be back next Tuesday. But please follow Trident. We have a lot of good stuff. Okay, everyone. You're the best. Have a great day. Bye.